Hey guys, this is Nikki and Ron LeGrand for this week's Ask Ron segment. I am stepping in for Elliot since he is out ill today. Ready, Ron?
These young folks, they just get sick, don't they, Nikki? Us old folks, we never get sick, right?
That's right, we muddle through it all.
So you've been here 11 years. How many days you missed?
1 day.
1 day. Okay.
1 day. So we hope Elliot gets well enough to join us tomorrow. All right, question number 1 is from Derek Claiborne in Maryland.
Hey, Derek.
He says, I have a seller with a $300,000 house in good condition, free and clear. She is asking $280,000 with $1,000 a month, no interest.
Wow, that's nice.
Their taxes and insurance total is $423.
Nice.
Is that paid from the $1,000 she gets monthly or paid by me for what I make over and above her money?
Well, Derek, to be fair, you should pay it on top of the $1,000. And if, especially since her $1,000 is no interest. Come on now, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. So you write the contract that your payment is $1,000 a month, principal only, plus taxes and insurance. That means that every month you should pay her the $1,400 and some odd dollars and let her be responsible for the taxes and the insurance on the property. Now, of course, if you're buying it with owner financing, you're going to have to get the policy, so you're going to have to pay the insurance anyway. But either way, just write it up that it's $1,000 principal only payment, and then you can discuss with her if you're paying the taxes or she's paying the taxes and escrowing for it. Because honestly, if she's not escrowing for taxes or insurance, of course, then you're going to pay it out of pocket, and there's no reason for her to collect it.
All right, then Derek has a second question.
By the way, that's a good deal, Derek. You better get that thing under contract, man. If you don't want it, I do. That's a really good deal. $280,000, $300,000 house. Value's going up fast in that area. A principal only payment. Holy smokes. That's one of those once in a lifetime deals that you get about once a week when you're in the arena actually processing leads.
Okay, Derek's second part is, how should you handle a seller when visiting a property that the house isn't in the condition they advertised?
Well, what you don't want to do is insult them and point out to them all of the things that are wrong with their house like they didn't know it. I usually just say something like, well, it's obvious that the place is going to need a little bit of deferred maintenance done on it, and usually the seller agrees. You don't have to go any further than that. And of course you can use that for leverage. And because of this, which was a little more than I expected, then we're going to have to adjust the price or adjust whatever you want to adjust. Just don't upset them by insulting them, that's all.
All right. The second question is from Tony in Indiana.
Hey, Tony.
Tony asks, when you are talking to a seller, do you tell them that you take responsibility for making payments, or do you tell the seller that the lease option buyer is responsible for making payments?
Well, both, Tony. If in fact I'm going to go ahead and close on it myself before I find the buyer, then I am responsible for making payments, and that's what we tell them. If in fact the intent is not to close on it until we find the buyer and they're aware of that, and you intend to stay in it on a sandwich lease option, or if you're buying and selling it with owner financing or whatever, you're still going to be making the payment. However, the discussion is going to be a little different. You're not going to make it until you locate that tenant buyer you like. And so either way, I guess, you're going to be telling them you're going to be making the payment. Because you are.
Okay, the final question is from Robert in Texas.
Hey, Robert.
Robert asks, if I sell a property that is worth $150,000 today for $160,000 and collect a $10,000 down payment,
right?
What happens if there is not enough equity in 3 years for my buyer to do a conventional loan and cash me out?
Robert, you must be a thinker brain now. So what are you? You're either an accountant or a techie or an engineer. Which one of those are you, Robert? Come on, give me a break. First of all, if a house is worth 150, it's worth 160 right now. If I send 5 appraisers to the house, I'm going to get 5 different answers. If I got a buyer that says they'll pay 160, that's what it's worth. Second of all, 3 years? You don't think the value is going to go up $10,000 in 3 whole years? If that's true, that's probably not a city you want to work in very much longer. 3, even if the value doesn't go up, your buyer's only got to go get 150 financed, which is the value now. You are worrying about totally needless things, Robert. Put the buyer in there, let the buyer stay in there until they decide to get it financed, and don't worry about it.
All right, that's our final question for the Ask Ron for this week.
Okay, all right. Sorry I'm so hard on you, Robert, but you probably deserved it. All right, guys, go out there and get some deals and send us some testimonial letters. We love them. They keep coming in. We love them. Get down to Jacksonville, get a chance, come see our office, because you guys are all over the place. Our walls are just filled with your letters and your pictures and your copies of your checks. So I'll see you next week.